Hello.
Oh gosh.
Do we want to wait a little bit till more people show up? I mean, we've already got a
We,
little bit of a
we
crowd
can
here.
we can wait a little bit.
Wait a little bit.
We can wait just a little bit. Just a little bit though.
Oh, I had to mute the YouTube stream. I hearing myself like 5 seconds delayed scared me.
It's gonna be okay. You know, it was funny. I was just looking at our views, but then I realized I was looking at when this was scheduled for, and it looked like 3,225. But that's
What
just
kind
the
of a
date.
crowd did we get in like an hour?
We must have said something raunchy.
Oh no, we're gonna get canceled.
Well, maybe not, because our friend, may he rest in peace. Maybe he'll resurrect in 4 weeks. What do I know?
Yeah,
But
who knows?
Mr. Mr. Jared is not
Mr.
here.
Jared, gone but sometimes forgotten.
We should dox him.
We should dox him. We should get him swatted.
We should we should tell people to swat his house, but only do it the day after he moves.
Yes, so there's just nothing there.
There's just nothing. It's just a different
Yeah.
family. It looks.
Yeah,
It kind of looks like Jared, but it's like his
Yeah.
name is like Garrett.
His name's Jared.
No, it's Gerard.
It's Gerard. It's Gerald. But it looks just enough like him, and like the layout of all their stuff in the apartment is like just close enough to his where they definitely got him. They definitely think they got him, but now he's living like over an hour away.
And then we release our apology videos.
Yeah, and they're all like in 4K, and each one gets over like 5 million views.
And we get like a Netflix doc.
We get a Netflix doc, a court case. It's like making a murder. Like we get a whole episode where it's just the court case, like court footage and everything, and each of us have like a breakdown.
Each episode is from each of our perspectives.
Yeah, like about 3/4 of the way through, I have to get like I like pass out and have to get like carried out by like police. It's just whole thing, and then
and you're portrayed by a different person when you have to do those stunts. It's like Nicolas Cage.
And then like 2 years go by where I'm just like completely MIA, and then I come back with a video and I'm in like Tahiti. And
yeah, you're in Tahiti, and it's just like, and the caption's like, "This is awkward."
Yeah, all lowercase. This is awkward, and it's like 4 hours long.
And then like in the next couple of videos, we're really drawing this out, but in the next couple of videos, it's like the question you guys have been asking, and then it has nothing to do with Jared. It's just about like where you live specifically, or where you place the couch.
Yep. It's actually my move-in vlog. And then like 2 hours of it is me trying to pick up a DoorDash order that can't get to my exact location. So I have to like go out and like get with like a laser pointer and like direct the car to my house. It's a whole it's a train wreck. Actually, my comeback only lasts about 2 videos. I tried to do a gameplay of Battlefront 1, and it like the views plummet, and then I'm never seen again.
Anyways, I think that's enough banter to get some people in here.
We gave them 4 minutes.
How is everybody doing? Welcome to the stream. It's nice to see Jim and Matt here are back in the chat.
Our regulars.
Regulars.
Our top
regulars might make it to mod status, but
maybe
if you want to get to mod status, you gotta pull in some people. If you really want to show us you're dedicated, you gotta share this video and like that like button. And well, you've already hit that subscribe button, so good on you for doing that already.
Exactly. Somebody get like Dave Portnoy to like tweet us out, and then get like 1 million people onto our stream right now on our 4th live stream. Please.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But speaking of 4th live stream, it is the 14th episode of Trifecta Talks. Brian, why don't you introduce of what we're going to talk about today?
What we're talking about? Outside of our normal opener of what we've been playing, we are going to cover not only the best but our favorite co-op games. And I know, or at least I think, our lists are going to be pretty diverse. I typically I don't cover a lot of the same games, but a lot of my games will cover different genres. So you're going to see some regulars, but then you'll see 1 to 2 new ones that I don't think I've mentioned before.
Stick around. It's going to be a great
It's
episode.
going to be a great episode. This thing cuts me off, and it scares me. The fact that you have the power to do this. Also,
It's
Mad
been great,
Hair
man.
on it, brother.
I think we got someone in the chat that's going to help us out.
Yeah, I think so. Mad Hair is our enforcer, if you didn't know.
Security guard.
Security guard.
So yeah, I guess we'll just start off the typical way where we talk about what we're playing. I was telling Brian this, and everyone should be happy to know that I finished Doom PS4 on Sunday. Not my typical kind of game. Like I like Metroid Prime, but I've been, like I said, I think this past year or so I've been diving into different games that I usually don't play.
Mhm.
And I think Dark Ages has me really hyped. And I'm now on a watch list, but honestly worth it. That's what
Good for you,
Matt
Mad
is,
Hair.
so
It's
worth
always
it.
worth it. It's so worth it.
So,
Good to have you.
good to have you hide out in here where
Yes.
nobody's watching. This is the best place to hide because nobody's here to figure you out. So yeah, Doom was great. I mean, everything that you've talked about it and Jared has talked about it. I mean, the music is great. I'm not really a big hard rock and roller kind of guy, but it matches the tone. And I don't get that same. I've started Doom Eternal, and I just don't get that same vibe. I can understand
That's
why
so
now.
strange.
Well, because they changed the artist, right? You said they changed the composer of the second game, right?
So, like, kind of did. So he was making the score, and then they were rushing him to finish it, which they didn't do for the first game.
Right.
So he was like, "I'm not doing this. You can't like force me to like push out a score that I'm not happy with." So he left and is now no longer associated with Bethesda at all. And he's done, I think, 4 different scores now for their games. And so what they did is they just like got some audio designers and like people who just do music and whatnot to basically like patch up and finish what he left. And so
I think that's my issue, because it does feel like a computer patched it, or like it feels a lot like digitized rather than like just, not that it's raw, but like I don't know. There's something that just seems different about it.
It's not, yeah, it doesn't feel as like fleshed out and as like unique, I guess, as the first game's like soundtrack. And I've listened to like a lot of stuff from Doom Eternal. I still think it's good, but I think Doom 1 definitely has like more of a personality to it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say I enjoyed my time in Doom. I feel like I enjoyed getting a lot of the collectibles, a lot of fun things that I haven't even discovered yet. But just for the story alone, it's very simplistic, doesn't go. I mean, granted, this was a reboot or soft reboot of the series, so it doesn't go crazy with the story. It's very just run and gun, have fun. The second one, though, it seems there's a bit of a bigger story, just the way it ends. I won't spoil it for Brian. He has not finished it, but it's got. I didn't know it was going to end on a big cliffhanger, and I'm happy that I could go straight into the next one, because I don't know how long other people had to wait for the next one, but it seems like it had to have been a while.
3 to 4 years, I think it was.
Really?
I think. Yeah, because Doom, the first one was 26. Yeah, I think first one was 2016, and I want to say Eternal was 2020. They definitely wait a little bit.
So we waited a bit longer in between for Dark Age. That's crazy to think.
Yeah.
But Dark Age is a prequel, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think it takes place before both the first two.
Yeah.
So
It's the first, but it's the same Doom guy. It's the same, because
yeah,
like the
same.
idea is that they resurrected him from hell, like they pulled him
Mhm.
out, and then that's how the story started. Uh, it'll be interesting to play, because this time I'm playing Doom Eternal now on a generation that it was made for, so everything's different, and like as far as like how the graphics look, and I'm just easing into the first level, so I'm not 100% if I'm into the game yet or not, but
Mhm.
I'm excited. I understand now why the title is called Doom Eternal, the way it ended.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay. I've heard Eternal is not only like you said, it's a bit different, but it's a bit harder.
and it's
Um,
harder. It's like they, and I get it, make improvements. Bethesda's always known for like not making the same game twice, even for sequels.
mhm.
Um, they do go the extra mile to change the way things look, things feel. Oh, that's the other thing. With the PS5, they have the immersion stuff, so like
Mhm.
the triggers react, and it's pretty cool. There's like some
That's
awesome
cool.
stuff they did with the PS5 version. Um, so yeah, like I said, I haven't even gone through the first level, but it's vastly different, and the maps are very different. There goes my dang monitor again.
It's gonna
Um,
lash out.
it is. Um, yeah, that's pretty much where I'll leave it, because I don't want to like judge it too early.
Mhm.
Um, if Jared was here, he'd say some kind of snarky comment, but I judge things too early.
Nah,
But I
no.
am. I told him that I'm going to give uh,
Days Gone.
Days Gone another chance, because it's coming out for
Yes.
PS5, and it's gonna. It sounds like it's fixing a lot of the issues that I had with the PS4 version. I think it has a great story. I wholeheartedly believe that. I just think the game was very ugly on PS4. No offense to Ben Studio. No, I people work very hard in these games. It's just that game is very big, and with a big map, and everything starts to look the same, and it's really
I
not that awesome.
totally I totally understand it. I mean, I didn't play Days Gone. I don't know if I will, maybe down the line, but I think what we should do is we should have a gameplay episode where you play Days Gone, and then we have a gameplay episode where Jared plays Spider-Man 2, so we can finally settle this because
Back to like on the same screen though. Like we
on the
play it at
same
the same time.
screen. Yes. Oh my God. Like that'll be one of our first in-person streams that we
Charity
do.
charity stream.
Our charity stream. First one to we race to see who can beat their story first.
Days Gone will take forever.
Oh God.
Spider-Man 2 is pretty short. I won't lie on that front. I know it's a, like Jared said, it's definitely a game that was rushed, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I just love that story. It's so
Yeah.
good. I mean, I get it. It was rushed, but I play it again. I recently finished. Well, recently is like 2-3 weeks ago, but I recently finished the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh.
Um, Jim says, "Days Gone. Where did they go?" They didn't go on the PS4 because it just doesn't a good looking game. I don't know. Is that just me? I wish I had more people in the chat to like vouch for this, because
Yeah.
I just think it's not a great looking game. Personally, I just think like I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just forgetting it. And like I was really in a rough time in college, and I
You're
just
going
hated
through a rough
everything.
patch. Going through a rough patch. You play Days Gone. You're like, oh, this sucks. I'm never playing it ever again. You completely lashed out. Had a
My
lapse of judgment.
my my days were slowly going away as in college. So maybe
Your
that's the issue.
days
I
were
don't know.
slowly going
I
away.
and then everything was better when Spider-Man 2 came out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Um, no, I just I don't know. There are games that do bigger world maps better than that game.
Yeah.
That's
Then
just
Days
the
Gone. Yeah.
facts. Than Days Gone. I think like the more foliage you have, the more uniqueness you better have in like your locations. Because with like
Mm-hmm.
maps like Breath of the Wild or Horizon Zero Dawn, I was about to say Forza Horizon.
Forza Horizon. Forza
um,
Horizon 0 Days Gone.
Spider-Man 2.
That's Spider-Man 2. Matt here
um,
says, "Mom, get in here, Brandon. Days Gone lore just dropped." What? Or wait, I kind of I read that correctly, but hold on. It's Mom, get in here, Brandon. Days Gone lore just dropped. That's what it's saying.
Put it in my memoir. I'm not going to go on a tangent on this, but I feel like I have a lot of freedom now since Jared's not here. He has no internet, so he has
this is
no
no
connection
say.
to life.
He's a nomad now.
Anyways, yeah, so Doom I've been playing. That's really it. I mean, this is a very dry month for gaming, and a lot of that is due to just like people are waiting for Switch 2. They're like really on the edge of the seat, but also, and this is a conversation for another time, but we've talked about this. I mean, studios are not thriving as they used to. It's tough to push out games. I mean, we saw that with the PlayStation Direct, whatever you want to call it, the state of play, where a lot of the games that are coming out are just third party. And, studios are buying into that as exclusives rather than having them come to multiple consoles.
Yeah.
But with that, just quick news drop for anyone that did not know, they dropped 3 Warner Brothers game studios, completely dropped them. They do not exist anymore. So I think that includes Rocksteady.
Oh my god.
Warner Brothers games, yeah, they're all gone. I think they're going the Disney route where they're just going to hand their properties over to studios that think can do it better, which is fine. But again, we're in the problem now where this is the issue where we're putting on heavier loads on people to produce games that might only be this dang on. I'm not even doing anything with
Your
it.
webcam has something to say about Days Gone.
Yeah, I'll tell it right back. No, but like I was just saying, like, it's just crazy. Like these studios just dropping out constantly, and it's so concerning to see and worrisome. So I don't know. I mean, but like I said, there's just not a lot of games coming out. The next purchase is definitely going to be Split Fiction, and Manya and I will be playing that. And then we're just waiting for Switch 2, which is exactly a month from now, or maybe a month, or less than a month, maybe just like a little bit back a day. But it's April.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of April, first week of April. I am still debating if I want to take the day off of work just for that direct, because I don't think I'll get nothing done that day. Honestly, and if I told my work the reason, they'd be so understandable.
Really? Oh, I love that.
Oh, if I just said I have to watch the Switch 2 direct, please leave me be. They wouldn't. I felt like
you got to put yourself on like. Do you use Microsoft Teams at your job?
yes.
You got to put yourself just busy or in a meeting for like 2 hours, and then put yourself back online.
No, that's the day when I work from home.
God, Brandon's been in a meeting for like 8 hours. So I hope everything's all right.
So Matt Hare says, I thought Rocksteady was in the middle of making a game. And I don't know if it was them that was in the middle of making a game, but there was, or I don't know if this was their game, but it was Wonder Woman. They were making, that was a game that was happening, and it got canceled. And when they canceled it, that was when they announced that those 3 studios were axed. Let me look up the exact
Yeah, I was just about to look up what they were working on. See if Wikipedia tells me. So in terms of stuff that's fully released, the last thing they did was Suicide Squad.
Right.
But that's pretty much it on Wikipedia.
Warner Brothers Games kills Wonder Woman title, shutters 3 studios in cost-cutting move. So, and that was, hold Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we are closing 3 of our development studios: Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Brothers Games San Diego. So I guess Rocksteady is still fine. So maybe they still are working on
Okay,
something.
gotcha.
But still, that's like a lot. Isn't Players First? Don't they do? No, I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But
Mm.
anyways, those are the big studios that are leaving our sector. Oh, Players First is Multiverses, which we knew
Oh,
was,
okay.
and it only had like they only did the one game, but they only had like 2 seasons of that game. So
Oh,
it's crazy.
what are you gonna
Anyways,
do?
what are you gonna do?
What are you
Brian,
gonna
what are
do?
you playing?
Not a whole lot. I can tell you I haven't finished a
We run
story
a
game.
gaming podcast and we don't play games.
Yeah, God, what kind of gamers are we? Jeez, might as well shut us down today. Um, I college football typically. I'm stuck in a college football cycle right now. It's just like my Madden cycles that I've brought up before, where I just like once I get stuck in like a franchise or like a dynasty mode, I just keep playing and playing, and it's all I want to play. Um, so I'm in my like fifth season, fifth or sixth. I think I'm in my fifth season of my Clemson dynasty. Got a whole new roster now, pretty much. All my my starting QB's gone. He got drafted. Um, and a bunch of other big name players left. So I'm running that. Last time we chatted, I said I had started Wolfenstein. I can report that I have not played it since then. Not for any nefarious reasons, but I just haven't picked it up since then. At the time of recording, I have tomorrow off, so maybe I'll play a little bit of it then. Oh, I'm still right in the beginning. I'm literally still in the first mission. So, but
Brian
the
and
first
I
mission goes
had a
for a while.
conversation. Brian and I had a conversation before this that the rule is that you should only play one game per console.
hmm And I was going through
He's
the games with him, and I think what I'm gonna do is I gotta drop college football for a little bit. I might play like one more game in my dynasty, and then just leave it for a little for a little bit.
That's what
And
they
the
all
next,
say. I'm just
that's
gonna
what they
do it
all
one more time.
just one more time. I did say
That's
that
like
too.
that's like those meth commercials where they're like, I'm just gonna do it once. I'm just gonna do it once.
I'm just gonna do it once. Yeah,
I'm just
I
gonna do it
said
once.
that when I said that when I finished my last season of my Clemson dynasty. I'm like, all right, I am going to just leave it. I'm gonna go play other stuff. And briefly, I did. Briefly, I played Wolfenstein, and then I ended up starting a whole new recruiting class. I have already signed on about 10 athletes. I have played 6 games in this new season. So I absolutely have not put it down. But I think what I'm gonna do for my consoles that I actively like play, it's mostly been Xbox, on on Xbox I'll probably just for now leave it to Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein the New Order specifically. Um PlayStation, when I go back to that PS4, I'm gonna go it'll probably be Doom, because that was the last thing I was playing on there. Doom 2016, the game that you just finished.
Yep.
Switch, mentioned to you, Firewatch. I bought that on there, like among a bunch of other like cheaper titles, or just titles that were on sale. I started that a while ago. I'll probably pick that up. I do want to get back into PS2. I've had that hooked up for a hot minute now. Got some games for
Dude,
that
I
that
wanna I literally want to pull out my GameCube, but there's nowhere to
Mhm.
put it here. So
uh,
I'm like low key going back and forth of like bring it to Manya's.
I literally have 4 consoles crammed onto my like right around my TV. Like I don't know how I have the space for it.
Yeah,
Um,
see, I can't. It's just literally my Switch and my PS5 right next to each
mhm.
other. I can't do anything else.
Me, it's I'm looking at it. It's Xbox, Switch, PS2, and then right hand side is PS4, all hooked up right now. But it's taking up too much space. But there's like just enough to where it's not an issue, so I can just seamlessly go between each of them because they're all hooked up at the same time.
You know what my background looks like?
What does your background look like?
Looks like Scott the Woz.
Hey guys, Scott here.
Hey, what is that knockoff? Hey guys,
Hey y'all, Scott here.
and today I'm committing tax evasion.
It does look like a Scott the Woz background.
It does look like a Scott the Woz.
Yeah. And we've mentioned this before. We both have very similar wall colors.
It's funny how we do, right?
It's
like
funny,
kind of
right?
bleeds in.
Like
if you just kind of like cut the poster out,
like look at that.
It's like if we just like kind of hold on, it'll look like we're in the same room. if you keep turning to get the poster out of the way. Perfect.
Like this?
Oh wait, cut it a little bit more. Keep going. Perfect.
We're just on the opposite sides of the same room. Oh my god. This is our first in-person session, actually. None of you knew this. We tricked all of you.
Coincidence? I think so.
I've never seen Scott and Brian in the same room. Jim has had this conspiracy theory that me and Scott the Woz are the same person.
You're like his older brother who he doesn't
I am his older. Well, listen, all I'm saying, beard trimmed up, long hair cut off. Listen, you put me and Scott in the same room. If there are two of us, wink, wink.
Brian, you if I could pick a character that you are from Scott the Woz, you're definitely what's his name? I wish I could remember the character's name as well from Scott the Woz. He's always like constantly yelling.
But his therapist?
No, not his therapist. I was gonna say his therapist reminds you of Jared sometimes.
That I could see that.
No, he's like the guy. He's just like he just has like the weirdest one-liners. Like he's like in the one where it's like if the Wii U was bad or like that era, he's like, I don't want to play Mario Tennis, not this. I don't know. I can't remember his name. Connor says, read the title as Best Cop Games, and my mind went to Chicken Police Painted Red. A classic.
Oh, Connor, how are those 12 copies of Checkers that you have?
I was just about to ask him. I hope he's getting some good use out of them. I learned what Checkers was, and I guess it's like this celebrity in England.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of our past stream on lunch today, and I had to look it up as well because I didn't look it up on stream last time.
I didn't know what it was. It's a party game though for Wii. It looks like,
and he has got 12 copies of it, or supposedly he does.
Good for him though.
Saw a 2 for 1 deal, and there was like 6 of them. I think got upwards of 12 copies.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
He's in seriously. He's in the
He's
in the financial department. Sounds like he made it big if he's in the financial department. He's in the serious financial department. It doesn't say debt. It says department.
Yeah. It says department. He's in the serious financial department.
So yeah, that's
just about what I've been playing, and hopefully I can break this college football cycle and just play through story games.
If Jared can break his cycle of Blotro, you can break your cycle.
That's very true. God, if talking about people doing meth, and you're like, I'll just one more time. That's Jared with Blotro.
It is.
Just one more run. Just one more run.
Those commercials are scarring. Like if you go back and watch them, and I was like, this was on Nickelodeon when I was a kid. Like they were really trying to scar me from not doing math. But here I am doing the DARE program, and I'm just like oblivious. Like, what's meth? Like,
what is this?
but they were nightmarish because you look at them as adult now, and it's like these are like terrifying. Why am I not like in therapy for this?
Yeah.
Like, it feels like I've taken meth. It feels like I'm sharing their life. Whatever happened on the TV. It was scary because it was just like they would do the whole thing, the whole rubber band thing, and then they would like they'd be watching them, and they look so sickly, and like the teenage girl's like, "Oh, I'm only gonna do it once. I'm only gonna do it once," and then like later on, she's like obviously in the worst condition possible, and then like her little sister walks in the room, opens her purse, like a 10-year-old girl. Opens up her purse and is like, "I'm only gonna do it once." I'm like, what's going on?
God,
that's scary.
God, they were subjecting us to like on Nickelodeon of all things. Like, Jesus.
Connor says he's selling them out of the back of the TGI Fridays in Burbank. We wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, keep us updated how that goes.
So we're gonna get to our main topic after lollygagging about it.
After talking about Days Gone and Nickelodeon. Meth.
This is what happens when Jared leaves. We start talking about bad things.
Ramble off for half an hour. That's half of the episode, or almost half the episode. Goodness gracious.
We're gonna talk about some co-op games.
Co-op
Some
games.
of our. This is a very open discussion. I didn't really have any notes on this.
I just had a list of games. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I have some in mind that I'm thinking about. But yeah, if you want to be part of this conversation, let us know what your favorite co-op game was, whether currently or when you were growing up. Because I think a lot of the co-op games. So I guess I'll just start with this. A lot of the co-op games that I had a lot growing up because I had a brother in the house with me. So we tended to get a lot of games that were 2 players always, because that's just how it worked in that dynamic. And a lot of them were like, trying to think of like a few that we had. Like we had some
real quick. It sounds like we're getting a caller with our live stream. Hello, you are. He hung up. I guess. Hold on, I'll wait a second.
Well, let's wait a second. Maybe he just got robbed all his Cheggers copies at the TGI Fridays. Well, nothing yet.
Nothing yet. I'll keep it on standby.
All right. So I think a lot of the co-op games. Oh.
Hello, you were calling in live to Trifecta Games.
Hey, Brian, this is Mike Fernando of Capital District Automotive. We were just calling to let you know that the brakes on your car are faulty. We're going to have to replace those. It's going to cost you about $35,000. Is that okay with you?
Brian, this is a very late night garage.
Yeah, that's fine with me. You have my full consent.
Wonderful. We'll get started on that. You just send us your banking information. That would be wonderful.
Oh, of course.
Got any epic plans tonight?
Oh, actually, currently we are live streaming on our YouTube channel, Trifecta Games, where we're talking about co-op games. Do you have anything to add to this conversation?
Well, Brian, buddy, my favorite co-op game has to be Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. I love to play as Lego Indiana Jones.
That's right. You could play as Lego Indiana Jones in Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. That's such a deep pull. I didn't know you were such a gamer, Mike Fernando.
Well, I also love to play Gran Turismo. I'm a car guy, but Lego Star Wars is my passion.
You ever play any of the Forza games?
Forza, I love those games, but I'm waiting for their sequel. When is it going to come out? Fiveza. Alright, we're going to starting to get hard for those breaks, buddy. All right, talk to you later.
And see you soon, Mike.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What was up with Mike's accent?
That's just that's Mike Fernando for you.
Dude, he's so late. He works late at night.
He's
Does he have a
a
family?
dedicated mechanic. I doubt it.
I d- Mike Fernando.
Mike Fernando of
God.
Capital District Automotive
What a guy.
could be a recurring guy on the show if he wants to be.
When we talk about racing games, we'll get him back on here.
Yes, which actually that I've thought about. Like we haven't talked about racing games as like a main topic. So maybe it'll
haven't.
be next week. Maybe it'll be the week after. I don't know. We'll cover it soon. Definitely. Surprised we haven't yet.
So anyways, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, so a lot of the co-op games were a lot of third-party licensed games for me. So, and some of them were like goofy as heck. Like I think the one that comes to mind, and I think I still have it. I don't know for certain, but it's the Up video game.
I've never played that.
Do you really?
Yeah,
It
so
plays
that's
like a
that's
Lego
co-op?
game.
Really?
Well, it's got like this top-down perspective, like Lego does. But
Oh,
yeah, that's a
okay.
co-op game. You play as Russell. So it's kind of cool actually from how I remember it. But you play as Russell and Carl. And the way it works is that you can't go far without the other person. So like with like most Lego games, you can go a little bit of a distance and the screen will start to split. But
Mhm.
the way it works is that they're always tethered to the house. So like if a person, it's kind of like It Takes Two, where like one person has to help the other person to get up certain
Yeah.
places. So it's kind of cool in that way, where it was a little they thought about it a little bit more than just making a co-op game just like that. But that one strongly suggests playing it as a co-op game because that's how it was built.
Okay.
Another one growing up is Toy Story 3 was a big co-op game. Very different from but that one, like, you did a split screen thing and you play as all the characters. You know, one person plays Woody or Buzz or Jesse and Buzz or something like that. And I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm totally forgetting because I'm strictly thinking like co-op as in like adventure games where co-op is
Right.
helps progress the story. It's not just a side
Mhm.
thing in the game. And I think we could talk a little bit more about the sport, but you don't just see that stuff as often. I mean, it's making a comeback, it looks like, from what
Oh,
we've
yeah.
seen that's coming out this year, but you don't see a lot of games that take pride in doing co-op games more often. It's mostly all just online, or it's a side mode. It's nothing like
Yeah.
it's not part of the game, to say the
Right.
least. So I think like the last co-op game I played, and I'm sure this is Jared's too if he was here, was It Takes Two, which that has to be well deserved the best game of the year because that was a game that was really dependent on playing with two people. That was a game you could not. I think you could play it by yourself, but I don't know how great it would have been because I think what's great about it is that that game made non-gamers want to play. It enticed quality time, between friends, loved ones, whatever may be. It was a game that really introduced that factor of gaming and how anybody can play games basically.
Yeah.
And even though it like stressed me out when Mania played because it took forever her to get past like the jumping levels because she just mashed the X button a million times.
Oh my
It was a
god.
good time. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's stuff. Yeah, it's definitely one it's on my like queue of stuff I want to play. I think it's on Game Pass. I think. Would definitely love to get into that. One of my coworkers at my new branch that I work at is really into it. So this kind of like reminded me of how much I want to play it. So definitely want to dig into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have too much to say on co-op but I know it's like, I will say I was not the Lego kid growing up. I did not have a lot of Lego games growing up until later on. But by that point, I did not have like, I don't want to say I didn't have friends. That's a weird way to put it, but I just didn't.
No friends. I'm just kidding.
No friends. Nobody wanted to play with me.
Zilch. Nada.
No, I just there wasn't at that point. You were kind of gaming on your own at that point. You didn't have people coming over and like, let's play Lego Star Wars, and everybody was on their Call of Duty binge at that point, which had co-op. It had co-op.
Yes.
Kinda. What was it? Story-driven co-op
in Call of Duty?
Yeah.
It had more co-op-esque things in it, which I will touch on that a little bit in my list of stuff, but I don't know if it did in terms of just straight story. There are other FPS, like major FPS franchises that have implemented that into their story and still made it like pretty seamless in terms of, you know, going from single player to co-op. Like, it's not necessarily needed, but it's still very fun playing with it. But I don't think Call of Duty touched on it much.
Yeah, if we're gonna talk about like non-co-op adventures, like just games that use co-op, I think the best ones come from Nintendo. I mean, they've always struck gold with, especially with the Switch, where it enticed you to have co-op a lot because it had the two Joy-Cons individually, so you could take one and pass it to a friend. But I mean, God, ever since day one, I would say, you know, the first Mario Brothers game is a co-op game. And then you go from Mario Party to Mario Kart to Animal Crossing is somewhat co-op.
Yeah. Stardew Valley is like
Stardew Valley. So it goes on and on, but it all depends on what your taste of co-op is in the end. Which I see it as like, you're physically there, you're on the couch, you're feeling reactions. Like Mario Party is always great as a couch co-op. I don't think it's as fun as online. I appreciate them adding online because it helps a lot. You know, when you're not as socially active. But
and you just want always that like little bit of like, or like knowing that you're having like a little bit of like a human interaction.
Right. So I would say like that's like, I think Nintendo has like the best co-op games, and I'd argue that a lot of them that I play are co-op. Even like games like Pikmin have co-op. Like, it's pretty interesting.
So some games that I want to touch on here a little bit. The main one out of all of them, I bring it up in almost every episode because it somehow manages to find its way. But the Borderlands franchise, it's almost all about co-op.
That's can right. Go through. You told me this, and I did not believe you.
Yeah, it's so like you can go through it by yourself, and I have beaten the first one by myself. But the more the games go on, the more not only is it a bit easier to go through with friends, but now it just makes it more fun. It's a much more chaotic experience. It really is built on you playing with multiple people.
Right.
It's seamless in terms of you being able to play by yourself. But like how the story progresses and everything, you could have up to four people. I think 4 people going at once. Each being a different like Vault Hunter class. The story is going to play out the exact same every time. Like, there's no like cutscenes involving like your character or whatever character. Like, they're not really shown that much from what I remember. So you're always going to see the same stuff. But like I said, it just makes for just a much more fun experience. Especially too, I replayed pre-sequel last summer. I think it was last summer with a friend of mine online. We went through the whole campaign. And I could definitely say I did intend on playing that by myself, but we ended up just playing it together. And I can definitely say I had a lot more fun playing with him rather than just playing it through by myself again. And I had fun with the first Borderlands by myself, but I could definitely say And this goes for any co-op game, or any game that at least like implements a co-op feature. If you're gonna implement it and make it feel important, you gotta have it at least make it feel like it's more fun that like playing that way than just single player.
Well, I was gonna say that I feel like they don't advertise it that it's like a 4-player co-op story
They
mode game.
don't. They really don't much. They advertise the story a lot. They advertise like the individual characters that you can play as, but they never really push the like the topic of hey, that you can play up to like with 4 people in this game. They don't
Yeah.
really push it. I think it's maybe solely because the franchise has been out for a little while that they just assume everybody knows.
But was it like that the first time when they advertised it?
I like beginning of the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't remember. They probably did for 2. Maybe they did for 1, but if I were to make a guess, it was probably 2 was when they started it, and then
Gotcha.
probably didn't really do it all that much since then. And even like with the teaser they showed for 4 during the state of play, they showed it.
Well, the first one was at Game Awards.
The first one was at Game Awards. But like I think the full-fledged like trailer with like or like the gameplay trailer with
Yeah.
like the release date and everything. I think that was state of play. They didn't really push a multiplayer like the multiplayer feature on it, or like the
Yeah.
co-op feature,
Well,
whatever you want to call it.
Spring.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole
That's right.
showcase to it. So
That's right. That's right. So then I think then they'll definitely push it. Next one I want to talk about is I had just mentioned COD. While their campaigns don't typically, at least from what I know, don't really implement a co-op feature. It's all strictly single player. COD, Warzone, and Zombies, I would put into like the co-op feature, or like the co-op thing, because I think the idea of co-op games, I think, is pretty broad. I think it covers a lot, and you can make arguments as to what is co-op and what really isn't. And this is another example of you can play it. Actually, I don't know about Warzone. I don't know if you can play that by yourself, but Warzone, I think you can go from 2 and up in terms of who you play with. And I that like for that alone, I would say it's co-op. And Warzone is always fun with more than like is always fun with multiple people, especially if you're already like it's people you already know. Not rather than like standard multiplayer, like just hopping into a team deathmatch lobby or whatever. COD Warzone, you need that teamwork. And Warzone's always, it's always been like that. I haven't played Warzone in a hot minute, but I would definitely throw it into that category. And then Zombies, I think, fits it even better. That's it. It's almost like the Borderlands thing where, like I said, you can play it by yourself, but it's so much more fun if you play it with other people. And it's a lot more chaotic, and it's much easier to progress with other people than if you were just playing by yourself.
While you're talking, I think if Jared was here, he would say this one too. It's which is Portal.
Oh yeah.
I never played Portal, but I definitely would like to pick it up and try it, especially with Manya.
Mm-hmm.
I think we could have some real good fun with that one. Another one I haven't played is A Way Out, which is also from the studio that did It Takes Two.
That's right. I've heard amazing things about A Way Out.
Yeah. Anyways, continue on.
Next one up is you mentioned it briefly, and Mike Fernando mentioned it briefly. But Lego games, specifically for me, Lego Star Wars, but I have played co-op on like Lego Marvel Superheroes. That's one of my favorite Lego games of all time. But specifically playing the OG ones growing up, 1 and 2 specifically, are the ones I have the most fond memories with co-op. Those ones, it's another case of it's not needed, but it's so much more fun if you have more people. And I think the Lego Star Wars games really do push that. with all like the different characters they throw in, and all the different puzzles you can do. Like I think there are specifically co-op only puzzles and whatnot in like the cantina that you can do, and at the cantina, and then the wherever the first one's located, that wherever it is, it's from episode 2. Jim will know. He'll spot me on this. But yeah, 1 and 2 for Lego Star Wars, definitely top tier co-op games. Didn't play a whole lot of Complete Saga with other people. And I don't think I've played Skywalker Saga with anyone, but 1 and 2 definitely throw those into S tier co-op games. Now this next one, real quick, is just an honorable mention, but I love the first game so much, and the first game's not co-op, but the second one looks just as beautiful and looks like it's just.
Oh wait, I know what it is. Is
you
it?
know what it is? Say it.
Is it Unravel 2?
It is. It's Unravel 2, and you know how much I love the first one, and I always thought that the first one could use a co-op feature, and that's exactly what they did. Unravel 2 is strictly co-op. I'm pretty sure it's co-op only.
Mhm.
I've had it for years on my Switch and have not been able to play it with anybody yet. So
Can you do it online?
maybe That's a great question. But while I search this up real quick, I mean, it's you know how much I love the first game. And
I was just gonna go back to your Lego thing again because I wanted to talk. I didn't, like I said, I didn't play a lot of Lego games co-op, but if we're talking about favorite Lego games, you said the first Marvel superheroes, but mine's the second one.
Okay.
I don't know because that one has the Chronopolis, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Which is such a cool concept, and it is open world. That game is a full-on open world game, which is so cool to me. I love that game just for that reason alone. I wish they do. I wish Brandon's bucket list of wishes, but it's been a while since they made a Lego game, so they got to be cooking up something as monumental as the Skywalker Saga was. So, in my mind, I really want them to like just do the Infinity Saga. Like just
they
do it.
should.
They should. I don't know. I just feel like they got to be working on something because they've been quiet.
They're very quiet. Ever since Skywalker Saga, they haven't really done much. I mean, they've released DLCs, like a lot of character DLCs for Skywalker Saga.
But like
they gotta
no expansions.
Well, I guess this counts. Lego Horizon, that was just done.
Oh,
yeah, I guess that was kind of like their next big move.
Dang it!
Yeah, when did Brick Tales come out?
I was just looking up all this stuff.
Brick Tales
they also remastered the Lego Harry Potter collection.
Okay.
Brick Tales 2022. I forgot about Brick Tales. I never played it. I should try it.
I really want to play Brick Tales.
But yeah, I don't know. I totally forgot about, which I want to play. I do want to play the Horizon Lego game, but I do actually. You know what my favorite Lego game is, and Manya can vouch for this. It's not the Skywalker Saga. It's Lego The Incredibles.
I've heard amazing things. I've heard it's really good.
It's like so stupid great. It's like as great as to play through the first 2 movies again as Legos. There's this great, again, it does this whole open world thing where you like, explore Metropolis or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And there's just like side missions, and then there's also like fun Pixar Easter eggs. And I I don't know if I platinumed that game, but that was, if I did, it was a fun game to platinum because I just remember like constantly going for every little thing I needed to do. I probably didn't. Probably something else came up, but I was really close. But I definitely 100% of the game. But yeah, I mean, maybe they'll do more Lego game properties, which I'm not opposed to, but I just want them to do, if they're gonna do Skywalker Saga,
Mm-hmm.
the only next thing to do is to do the next big Disney property, which is Marvel. They could totally do it, and it
Yes.
would be great.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it would sell so well.
You know what property hasn't been touched by Lego in a very long time was DC. I don't know if they'll ever do anything strictly
Yeah.
DC again, but I think with this
I played
research of the DCEU, maybe
maybe
they'll do it.
I played what is it? I played, what was the last one? The one with the supervillains.
Oh, Lego DC supervillains or whatever.
Yeah, and you make your own DC
Mhm.
supervillain.
Yeah.
That one was fun. That was the last DC one I played. The first DC one I ever played was actually my first DC, or my first Lego game. It was Lego Batman on DS.
Oh.
Yep.
Real
Funny how
quick,
this turned into a Lego stream.
I'm gonna say real quick, we got Jared in the chat. Jared saying,
They have got to be. That game is so fun. Are you talking about Lego Incredibles? I assume, maybe.
I think so.
I don't know when this chat came out. Jared has internet? What the?
What the heck? Get on the stream now.
You're late for work.
You're using up all your PTO.
I watch a Lego stream. Yes, he is talking about that. I watch a Lego stream too. That's what we should do.
We should
We should just play a Lego game.
Oh my god. Hold on. What? You know what? While we're chatting, I need to know what Lego games go above like 3 players and up. Are there any?
Don't they all? Or no? No,
I don't
some
know.
don't. I think
Some
the
don't.
Incredibles
Some like
does. The Incredibles does. It is a 4-player game.
Oh, we might have to do that. Let's see. Actually, let me just what Lego games are 4-player.
Ooh, good thinking. Good brain skills.
Lego games that support 4 players. Lego Indiana Jones: The Original Adventures, Lego Worlds, the Lego Ninjago movie game, Lego Marvel's Avengers, and Lego Dimensions.
Really? What Lego Incredibles? Lego Incredibles is 4-player.
Hold on, let me search it.
They have like so many different things that you could do with 4 players in that game.
That was just Google telling me. Let's see.
Google doesn't know crap diddly o.
Crap diddly o. Lego Incredibles. How many players? Let's see. Lego The Incredibles supports 1 or 2 players.
What?
That's wild.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I thought that game was 4 players for some reason.
Lego The Incredibles allows players to explore action-packed story levels.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. Before we get any farther, I think some of these say it's only like a separate mode. Like there's a 4-player battle mode, and then the story is 2 players.
Okay.
They said though. It looks like there's a 4-player. Oh no, there really isn't. It's all 2-player.
Oh.
That's stupid.
Well, I think next one
Jared,
up.
stop using your data. You're gonna waste it all on stupid people like us.
Matt Harris says, "I haven't played a Lego game in years. I think it's time that you play one. Lego games are timeless. Doesn't matter which one you play, unless they're on DS. Then they're dog water." I can't trash on them that much.
You can't trash on
the
them.
three
Listen,
the 3DS
they were
ones
pretty good. The 3DS are pretty great.
The
Alright.
3DS ones are great. The DS ones, for what they are fine. It's not it's really not a good port.
I think for what they were able to accomplish, like they could have
Like, what they
did
were
some
able
side scroller bull crap, but they did
Yeah.
a 3D platformer. I mean, it's
That's
not
true.
great.
It's
but
not great. It doesn't look. It's
for
not great.
for a kid.
It doesn't look
For
great.
a kid that was like everything. Like I'm playing
Yes.
a 3D. I'm playing a game that looks like a console game.
It's
Like I mean more so like because we've had this conversation where the game looks vastly different from like the console version. But I think like
That's
the
true.
Lego games always like I think there's one though that did some side scroller. Oh, it was on like Game Boy Advance, but that doesn't count.
Mhm.
DS I think went strictly 3D. They did 3D looking games.
hmm
They looked like the console versions, but
Yes.
obviously they're crunched back a bit. They're a bit smaller and not as dense as the console versions. But you know, they did what they could. They were working
what they
with.
could.
You
That's
know,
right.
not a lot of DS games could do that. There were only so many DS games that were 3D. You know, most of them were Nintendo games like Super Mario 64, the Zelda games, and I don't know. They worked with what they got, and I think it worked out in their favor. I think.
Mhm.
And the 3DS ones, I mean, if you look at them now, like they're all just mobile games. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I
That's
think
very true.
they're not great.
They're
I
not
totally
great.
get
They're
that.
not great.
They're
And
not
I'm not.
great.
And I don't mean to bash them, but like they're very different from the main console releases.
Jared goes, Alfalfa, is that you?
Oh yeah, I can see the hair sticking up now.
I can't get it down. It's static season.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. Matt Hare says, "Play the Lego Rock Band game featuring Blur on DS."
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Can we talk about that? Like we should just talk about accessories one day cuz like that is a
Yes.
feat how they did that cuz it plugged in
To the
the way it
bottom.
worked is it plugged into the bottom and you held it like, you know, like this. Something like this. And then the stylus was the strumming, like the hand
Yes.
cramps. What?
Goodness gracious. I mean, talk about innovative, but at the same time, man, that you're given that's a really quick way to give kids was it carpal tunnel?
Yes.
Yeah, very like
We
speed running carpal tunnel.
we we had like some kind of Tony Hawk game for DS. It was trash. It was a trash game. But the cool part about it was that it came with a Game Boy thingy and you plug it in the bottom and what it did is that it gave your DS motion controls. So like
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, but the game was trash. Like
That's terrible.
it was totally selling on that gimmick. We got to save this conversation further, otherwise we're gonna like dive into this more.
Dive into it, and we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about on its own episode.
I know. Next week. No, actually, I
yes.
want to wait till Jared comes back. I want to wait till Jared comes back for this one.
Yes.
I think he would be great for this conversation.
100%. My next one I have for co-op games. While we got Jared here, because I'm sure he would love to hear this. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big wrestling nerd, and the tag team match feature in WWE games is goated. I've loved it for years, and especially being able to play with other people. The chaos you can cause in those matches with other people is unmatched. They're just so much fun. It's pushing the co-op like name or like the genre, but it's there. It's really just a mode. But I played with the computer the other night in a tag team match. It's not even nearly as fun as like playing with, so it's like not even close to being the same. Because you're playing with just 3 other computers, and it's it's programmed to act a certain way to cooperate with you, but it's really just doing its own thing. So you really can't coordinate anything. It's just a 10 minutes of it's a 10-minute car crash, and that's it. That's really all it is. But with
Jared
a friend,
goes,
so much fun.
Jared goes, wrestling, never heard of it. But in my mind, what I'm hearing, I can hear Jared right when you said that game. All I heard him go, yeah,
What
yeah.
yeah.
He does it just like that.
Yeah,
Tell me
just
I'm
like
wrong.
that.
He
Just like
goes,
that. Oh,
yeah.
wait. I'm adding one more thing onto the wrestling thing because they just added an online feature to this for their next game that's coming out in like a week. Jared and I were talking about this. The next WWE game. So they had a feature. They used to have a feature in their like mid 2000s called GM mode. Ran your own roster and everything, right? Then they added it back into the game 3 games ago. It was 2K22. They put it back in. Now you could do couch co-op with that, but you couldn't do online co-op with that. Now in the next game, they gave everybody what they wanted. Now we can do online co-op with it. I believe it's up to only 2 people. Jared, if you know if it's more, correct me on this. Yes, online GM. Put 3 exclamation points. He knows. It's finally in the game. We've been wanting it since they brought it back. It just makes too much sense. It's that mode is honestly at this point built on co-op. Playing with the computer is all right, but with friends and just having a couple hours session playing that mode is just like it's on another level. You could do a match here and there, but like all like the business of it and the politics and setting like budgeting and everything, it's so in depth and it's the co-op experience is unmatched for something like that. And Jared says 4 players, I believe. That would make sense. There's upwards of almost 5 brands you could choose from, at least in the last one that I played. So that would make sense. It's like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and I think you could throw in ECW and WCW. So that would make sense if they put it up to 4. That would make for such a fun co-op session, whatever you want to call it. But yes, tag team matches in GM mode easily are just like unmatched. Next one I just threw in because I've had good co-op experiences with it. It's not necessary, but Far Cry, it kind of elevates it. But it's there. The open world is a lot more enjoyable with friends. I played a lot of 4 with friends and taking over bases with a pal or 2 is just it's just more fun. Now my second to last one here is I mentioned before there are some FPS franchises that offer co-op, your Borderlands, stuff like that, but Call of Duty does not. To my Jared, if you know, correct me. But Halo does. And I've told the story a million times, but while we were at 6, now we're down to 4. While we have 4 people in here, I'm gonna tell the quick story again because it's my favorite gaming story ever. Is when a friend of mine and I hopped on Halo 4 early into the night, and they have the co-op feature to the campaign. It's the same exact campaign. We played a couple levels, and I'm like, all right, I'll do one more, then I'll go to bed. It was like the summer. I don't know what year it would have been, but we played another mission or 2, and then in the same night we finished the entire campaign. So I'd throw Halo on there just for that sake. I have not played a Halo campaign with anybody else since then, but it makes me want to run it back with them. And games like in the Master Chief Collection, Halo Reach, I've heard is great with friends. In the terms of the story, so I would love to go through those with a couple pals. And real quick, just one more. I threw it on while we were talking because I've had really good experiences with it with co-op. Is Saints Row the Third. It's a goofy GTA rival. It was like GTA, then they made it silly goofy to make it stand out, and it's that much more goofy with friends. So I threw that in there just for that sake.
Good stuff.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say about co-op games. But if you didn't know, there's a new co-op game coming out this week, which timed it out perfectly. Not sponsored, but Split Fiction from the people that did It Takes Two is coming out this Thursday. So if you're looking for a new couch co-op game, pick it up. I found out it's going to be on physical too, so I'm hoping I can pick one up physically. If not, it might have to be a digital purchase, but for that studio alone, I definitely would want to go physical, and especially since I do have a disc version of the PS5 and I should be using it more often than not. So yeah, that's all pretty much I have to say on co-op games. Brian, did you want to add anything last minute?
I did think of it actually when I was talking about Saints Row for about 10 seconds there. The Dead Rising franchise. I've only played those co-op. So the Dead Rising 2 is 2 specifically? Yeah, 2. I just hours upon hours I played with a couple friends, and I can't name a single time I played that by myself. So I have to put Dead Rising in there just for that sake.
Jared says first impressions video. Totally. Like we can make it a segment. Are you getting it day one, Jared? Actually, you're probably not getting it day one, but are you getting it when you officially start a new life in a new home?
A new life, and he blossoms and he leaves without us. Starts his own gaming channel.
Uno Fecta.
Uno Fecta. Actually, no, he's gonna start his own Trifecta. It's gonna be with him and his 2 sons.
And that's just gonna be like Poopy Face. The game.
And then Ben is just gonna be he's gonna craft his own entire like masterful
Let me hit the
village in
lottery
Stardew.
first. This guy. Let me hit the lottery first.
This guy.
I don't know. It makes it seem like every time he's like growing his Steam library, it seems like he has so much to give. But who am I to say anything? When I hit the lottery, the game is like $40. It's less than the other games out there right now.
I have a bad habit of buying games and then never playing them. So I totally understand it. I do that on Switch. I haven't done it on Switch in a while, but the deals section on Nintendo eShop is a dangerous place for me. Because you see something drop 80%. I mean, that's why I got what was it? Firewatch. Oh yeah, Pandora's Box, or whichever, the Legendary Collection or whatever for Borderlands. That was kind of like I had been looking at it a little bit, and then they dropped it. It was like $10 for all 3 games. I'm like, oh, you kidding me? For games I've already played and I love, and I can play them on the go. Come on now.
Jared, isn't your wife's birthday coming up soon? Just saying, be a good excuse for a birthday gift. I don't even think it'd be a good excuse. I think she'd be. Yeah, what about Lydia? She gotta eat.
She gotta eat. I'm sure she does.
Jared says otherwise. Or it could be boys gotta eat, as in like boy apostrophe S. He could have missed an apostrophe, so maybe it's just him.
Just boy gotta eat.
Just boy gotta eat.
Just boy gotta
Well,
eat.
I'm definitely down to do impressions video, but I guess first you have to win the lottery first, or else I'm gonna have to do all the talking. Yeah, really soon, September. I thought it was a spring. I thought it was a spring birthday.
No, she has a September birthday.
Oops.
Because her and I are both Virgos.
But it's almost Ash's birthday. In
Matt
the
Hare
summer,
says,
right?
play games on the go and be a bodacious babe. Sign me up, friendo. You got it,
And
Matt
on
Hare.
And on that note, I think this is where we sign off.
This is where we sign off. That was a good stream.
That and we close everything. We're just like talking, like, oh, God,
I don't know if I can.
I can't stop smiling anymore. My cheeks hurt. I hate faking this to everybody.
Yeah, God, this is just a train wreck. God, I wish
I-
we ended 14 episodes earlier.
I hate video games.
I just read books and I go for walks until I can't feel my legs anymore. That's the only. That's how I feel.
I just did this for Jared because he promised some kind of alimony.
I did it for Jim because he promised he would take me to the Alamo.
I did it. Said we're watching again. Yeah, you will be for a couple weeks. He's gonna come in with notes. He's like, "All right, guys, this is what I noticed. Y'all don't smile enough."
Mad Hair says, "Don't mask the pain, brother. Ain't nothing
True
to
that.
mask here. It's just all pain."
Check this out. Whoa.
Video games suck, according to Jared.
All right. We will see everybody on the next show on March date. Insert date there.
Insert date. We're looking at a March 10th. March 10th.
Oh,
March
it's Mario
10th.
Day.
Oh, look at that timing. Oh, well, potential episode topic.
Potential episode topic.
Potential episode topic.
We'll see you all next time. I can't even do it straight face. I am.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.